Hi, you're listening to Small Business Small Talk powered by Hibu. I'm your host, Ian Messenger, along with my co-host, Lauren Blackford.
Hey there.
At Hibu, our goal is to help local businesses across America succeed and grow with digital marketing. And a great way to do that is to hear firsthand stories of how actual businesses have used digital marketing to reach their specific customers. Today, we're talking with Dr. Jordan Jobe, DDS. Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing, Ian?
Good. Happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Lauren, how you doing?
I'm great. Great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for making the time. So Dr. Jobe is one of our clients here at Hibu, and we wanted to kind of get back into, if you listen to the last few episodes, we've talked to some other folks in the small business industry and asked them about how they're marketing their business. And we really wanted to get back to talking to some of our clients about what's working for them, working with Hibu. So if you don't mind, it would be great if you could just kind of give us a brief introduction, what you do, how you got here, how you got into the business, and we'll take it from there.
So I've been out of dental school. I went to Ohio State University for about 10 years. For a year, I actually was down in Columbus and was working for somebody as an associate, and the opportunity came for me to take over for a guy that was retiring, and big shoes to fill. It was moving from Columbus to Cleveland, and decided to make the jump and purchase the practice, take it over, run it. And from there, for the last 9 years, we've continued to, monitor his patient of care, his standard of care, and, just kind of grow the practice and try to improve the technology and overall patient experience. We just try to do that for them. A couple of years ago, we actually just moved out of our old location to our new location. It is probably about 15 minutes east of where it was in Parma Heights. Unfortunately, I've heard some stories that the building is no longer accessible. It sounds like it's condemned at the moment. So,
oh no,
we got a really good time,
right?
Yeah. So ever since moving, we've grown. Just having the location change. Eventually, running into the company Hibu, Aaron had came in and just kind of we talked, but going in on that, we just have grown day by day. It just seems like we're getting new patients as we grow along. So things have been great. Things have been really good.
Great. And before Aaron came along, what were you guys doing as far as a marketing plan?
So that's the thing too. When you get out of school, you want to learn dentistry and just try to, how do you do a crown and with an hour, and how do you do with root canals or extractions, and balancing time. And, when I had taken over from the old practice, there was the original staff that the original owner had. So there was actually a lot of drama when I first got in. There was stuff behind the scenes that I didn't know about. And then it kind of came to fruition that a lot of these girls didn't get along with each other. Those first few years are growing pains along the way. So social media and marketing wasn't really on my mind, because I figured, word of mouth is what is translating, is what the old school mythology was. And that's kind of what I was banking it on. And I was noticing that we did have the same patient base, but we were, some patients move. And then, so on the flip side, we're losing patients. So how do we grow? You want to give them a quality appointment and make sure that they're cared for at 100%. And that only goes so far. So as we develop the business, the dental skills within the, probably 3-4 years into it, it was like, well, how do we grow the practice? So it really started from the ground up. I didn't know from the original owner. He kind of, once I bought it, he, was like, all right, have at it. So, but to grow it, we had a website to start first. The first year I was out, I didn't look at it for 5 years maybe, but it was really the move that kind of, jump started. So I think there's always something, once you get your base down, moving to the next step. And that's kind of where we're at right now, especially within the last year and a half. It's been great with the marketing change.
Yeah. So that transition from, just wanting to be a dentist to becoming a business owner, there's a lot to it, as you mentioned. And so can you talk us through when Aaron, your sales rep from Hibu, started working with you, how that experience went, handing over to her and to Hibu, the marketing aspect of your business?
before Aaron came in, I had actually was like, we need to revamp the website since we moved, and it was kind of motivating in that way. I had signed up with a company that was out of state. I just kind of read in a dental magazine, like, this is an award-winning dental marketing, website design. I noticed probably within the first 2 or 3 months, I was not getting kind of the love and support that I was gaining, and that's what you want. I mean, it's the same thing with my patients. Patients deserve to have someone that walks them through everything. When Erin walked in, she obviously had said, hey, we do social media marketing, we're looking to grow your practice. And I think the main thing that made me decide let's give it a shot is it wasn't working with that other company. It was somebody local, which I think is very, very important, is somebody that can come to your office and discuss options for you. Which has been huge. So I made the decision to make the change. Let's see how things go. Yeah, and the rest is history. Things have gone really, really well since then. So it was a really good decision for me.
We might touch on this again later in the conversation, but while we're talking about results and the plan that Aaron helped you put in place, I'm just looking at your dashboard now for the last calendar year, and it looks like we've helped drive 1,300 leads to you. Phone calls, form fills. So I mean, that's I don't want to put words in your mouth. I assume that's noticeable when you're at that point where you're trying to grow your practice.
It really has been. You just got to stay up. Same thing with the dental technology. 95% of the population, I would assume, check their stuff through their cell phones, through their tablets, their computers. I mean, you got to move with the times. And it was time for us to kind of, word of mouth was kind of passe, and it's, you got to put the effort. And I have to say, you have to put some money into marketing yourself. And that's, it does cost a little bit, but what you get out of it is, by gaining patients, that's the lifeblood of the practice. Even in the community, I'm not trying to go national or anything, but just staying within the community just to improve their dental healthcare. That's number one. We just want to be a staple in the community. The Google reviews have increased. That's the thing. It's just the traffic. And Aaron comes in once a month. We set something up. We go over what's going well. What can we do to improve? And that's where you really have to put the effort in, on both ends. And it's staying communicative between those two companies. So.
And I think Lauren touched on something important too, that, we talk about a lot, the fact that, we're talking to, whether it's a dentist or any other industry, you go to school to learn this specialized thing. And then you have to make this weird transition to being a business owner. And, one pillar of that is the marketing part, but you're also dealing with, rent, bills coming in, all the normal things that go along with running a business. So it can get, I don't even want to say overwhelming. I feel like marketing can often be something that gets, put away in a drawer until next month, because it's like, oh, we got to deal with this other thing. And, I'll get to it when I can. So it's, that's what we always hope to offer through our solutions is, what, we get it. It's easy to, find a reason to kind of skip over this as you're both running your business and practicing your trade. Let us handle it. We can be that support for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's an added expense to the overhead that you have to exhume. I mean, you got to pay your staff. They got to put food on their table, the rent, the electric.
Yeah.
The overhead's really high. And that's the thing, it's a jump, but it's a jump worth going for, because like I said, the new patients that read our reviews, I mean, the last patient, that's why I'm a little late, is because they saw us on Google and we're like, we read the reviews, and, that's what people are they're trusting other people. And we stand behind what we do. And if people don't know that you do that, what's the point?
Sure.
Just, you're trying to at least kind of let people know in the community, hey, this is what we do. And those Google reviews are huge. And that's the best part. And anytime I need to, add a YouTube video, I talk to Aaron, and Aaron will just, upload it right to the website. How can we blog? That's something we're going to look into doing more in the future, is just, once a month, maybe to start, is just get some verbiage out there, just to, increase the traffic of the website and things of that nature. So,
yeah.
We say all the time that reviews are now the new word of mouth. Instead of, asking your neighbor, you go to Google or Facebook or Yelp to find out what people are saying. Are you finding that the reviews are the main driver of your new patients?
I mean, word of mouth is still, patient referrals are still big, but yeah, if that's not number two or one, it's that, they flip flop. But yes, absolutely. We do send out letters, or cards, like the Val Pack, and that has been successful too. So just even sending out mailers are good, but obviously they get the mailer. Well, let me find out a little bit more about that person. So it leads from that to a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
The phone call comes in, that's another thing. There's so many steps to get that patient into the chair to trust you. I mean, Sabrina answers the phone. If they don't have a connection with Sabrina, they don't schedule, so there's just a lot of it's
A lot of touch points, right?
yes. And
Yeah.
marketing, the social media marketing, or that gets the phone call, that's the spark, but you got to keep it going. So it's really cool. It's fun. It's actually fun. That's the one thing it's fun to see it grow. It really is like, it's like a plant or your baby. It's just, you feed it, you nurture it, you watch it grow. It really has been an awesome experience so far.
You're listening to Small Business Small Talk, powered by Hibu. Hibu is the country's leading provider of synchronized digital marketing for small businesses, delivering more visibility, more visitors, more leads, and more customers. Visit us today at hibu.com, Hibu, hibu.com.
We're back with our guest today, Dr. Jordan Jobe, DDS.
Do you remember, and you may not, because it's been at least a year and a half since you've been working with us, but do you remember what the process of kind of getting set up was like? I know you've mentioned that Aaron, your sales rep, is a great, ongoing touch point to help you upload new videos or whatever you might need. But what was the I feel like one of the barriers for a lot of small businesses can be, I don't know what it's going to be like, getting the website built and doing this, and I don't have time for all that. I've got, I've got an hour in between patients where I can deal with this. Do you have any recollection of what that sort of onboarding process was like?
It's kind of like with anything, you have to set aside some time. You are running around, but if you schedule ahead, you're able to set up that meeting. Aaron's had to wait in the waiting room 15 minutes for me sometimes. Same with you guys. But as long as you set a time to do that, it makes it a lot easier to go and do that. So sometimes we have to reschedule, and that it happens. But for the most part, I think the number one thing was just trust. And
Yeah.
Same thing with me. Same thing with it. It's like, I trust you to help me out, with my marketing and growing my practice. And, she's now a patient of the practice. I mean, that speaks volumes, somebody that's marketing you that, she wasn't a patient before. And
Yeah.
I've seen like how things have gone, that, she's bringing her family here, and like, that means the world to us. So
Sure.
it really speaks volumes on that. So
Yeah, that's great.
that's the thing, is just establishing, when somebody comes into a small business, I always emphasize, just establish that trust, that she never pushed anything. She just said, hey, I'm here. It was just a good approach. And like I said, she was younger, so it was like somebody I'll long-term hopefully work with. And, but again, if she moves on or whatever, I've now got a good base of what Hibu's all about.
Yeah.
I'm still learning a lot of things regarding, like you said, the dashboard, and what it's still new terminology for me. And so just in that regard, that's what having her, on board, coming in once a month, is huge. And so far so good. Like I said, I'm very, very happy with my experience with Hibu. We've really, that's where we're starting to really fire on all 8 cylinders. So you learn more on the dental side, and then you put a little bit more time into the social media side.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's, with Sabrina making phone calls, we're doing training on that. So yeah, working with Aaron has been really it's been a blessing. We want to see it grow more. I mean, as you're putting in more money, it's like, I got to make sure I get the results back. And
Sure. Yeah.
Well, and it changes so frequently. I mean, Google never lets us, have a moment's rest before they've changed, what they're focused on and what their policies are. So the good thing is that, folks like Daryl and Aaron are coaching you through this.
Yeah.
understanding those changes in the industry and what's going on and where is best to put, your digital marketing spend.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there must be a lot of cases where you're obviously like you said, you're enjoying the process of learning about marketing and working with Aaron. I know there are a lot of cases where a small business owner, whether it's a dentist or anyone else, will, their first step will often be, okay, I've got the education, I bought the business, I'm going to learn how to do this myself.
Yeah.
And, like Lauren just alluded to, you may, that's great. That's awesome. And you may sit there and read a book and learn how to do it. And by the time you're done the book, that knowledge is old.
Yeah.
And you may not know that because,
Yeah.
you took the time to read it and apply it. And then you're just kind of operating on outdated information. So it's great to have someone like Aaron, someone like Hibu to be able to say, listen, we're keeping up with this. We're monitoring what's changing. And then we're going to either implement changes on your behalf or recommend to you, hey, the landscape's a little different and this is what you should be doing today versus yesterday.
For sure. I mean, even when I'm looking for a restaurant, if I'm out of town, I'm going right to Yelp. I'm going right to four and above, and that's the thing. Like, we're not going to go. I mean, there's probably some good restaurants at 3.5. It's just a customer, might write a bad review, and that's unfortunate because we wouldn't go unless they're 4 and above. Because
Right.
I want to experience the cuisine of any area you go to, and that's what's fun with it. And that's the thing. A patient, their dentist may retire, and then they're like looking around. They don't ask their friends. They're going to look on the computer because that's
Sure.
What's the next thing that I can do. So it's really helped grow the business. So
well, it sounds a little mean, but even depending on the friend, you may be like, all right, well, they said this, I'm going to see what other people are saying, because maybe their experience was great and other people are like, ooh, not for me, or vice versa. So I don't even know these days if it's an either or. I think a lot of times it's both. It's personal recommendations and then validating that by kind of, crowdsourcing what other folks are saying too.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is just stand behind what those people are talking about, because if they're, you can have a bad day, but you don't bring it here. That's the thing. You don't ever want to give the patient a bad experience. It takes one bad patient to ruin 10 good reviews. So we just kind of keep that mindset. No matter, you just got to have a lot of patience with that. So,
yeah,
because those reviews mean a lot. That's the thing. You read them and you're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I made this much impact. So that's another cool thing. Like when I started, I think I had 3 reviews. Now we're at 83.
Yeah.
Aaron saying, hey, reply to those reviews. That helps the traffic. So we've been doing that.
And that's all automated for you too, right? Those are just, you're not tasking someone in your office with, hey, I need you to, wander the street and hand out cards asking for a review. That goes out through email, text, and they come back in.
Well, she even set up like a QR code, something as simple as that. I mean, like, those are just like little things you don't think about that. I mean, it's like, duh, but you don't think, obviously, like little things like that can go a long way. Like, hey, how did you like your appointment? Would you like to schedule? You just send them the QR code. Our website was very archaic and very plain and bland, and just feeding that website and just trying to get it to grow it's nice, because while I do dentistry, Aaron does the website design, and that's why it's worth investing in that, because you got somebody taking care of you and she's down the road. So that's, having someone local is big. I think that's the main thing that made me really want to make the change.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it was timing. She timed it up perfectly where I wasn't happy with this. I have nothing bad to say about it. I don't even remember the company's name anymore, but that's the thing. It's just been such a better fit for me.
Well, Dr. Job, thanks for joining us today and sharing your experience and your knowledge and helping us help dentists like you. And to all of you listening, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If your local business needs a digital marketing solution that generates more leads and customers, talk with us about how Hibu can deliver the kind of results you want. If you liked what you heard on this episode, be sure to subscribe. And please, if you can, leave us a review. It really does help. This is Small Business Small Talk out.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Small Business Small Talk, powered by Hibu. Hibu is a leading provider of synchronized digital marketing for small businesses across America. With Hibu, you get all the digital marketing your business needs, all from a single provider, all working together to maximize results. Visit us today at hibu.com, Hibu, hibu.com.